Garcia versus Romero, Friday, May 2nd, live from Manhattan, Times Square in New York City, New York.
Well, he didn't make way for his last 4 title fights, and he didn't even try to make way with Tank, so yeah, you're not chasing a belt. But we'll see. May 2nd.
As far as Rollies as my next opponent, he wasn't my first choice for sure.
He was or was not?
No, he wasn't. It was Pitbull Cruz, but things played out a different way. But
two explosive personalities, one electrifying showdown. Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero are set to collide in a clash of speed, power, and pure boxing chaos. This one's got fireworks written all over it. As we start talking about it, Oscar De La Hoya has voiced strong feelings over the Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero matchup. At first, he disregarded the fight, saying that Romero's shortcomings were made clear following his knockout loss to Isaac Cruz, and that no one was interested in marketing such a battle.
Rollies, you dumbass, getting knocked out. Focus on your opponents instead of focusing on me. God damn it. All other fighters, learn from Rollies. Don't talk shit about promoters. There's only 3 of us in the world.
He also pointed out that Ryan is calling out multiple fighters across the division. This behavior could suggest that Rolly Romero isn't his main target. It raises questions about whether Ryan is fully focused on this upcoming bout.
He's mentioning Pitbull, he's mentioning Tank, he's mentioning O'Malley, Errol Spence, he's mentioning everybody. I mean, but that's the beauty about Ryan, is that now we have to believe him. Now we have to, we can't be scratching our heads anymore with Ryan and saying, is he going to get in the ring? Is he going to fight? Is he ready? No. Ryan is the perfect marketer for himself. He's great for boxing. We need more Ryan Garcias.
Besides, he also talked about the impending fight between Rolly and Ryan. De La Hoya stated that both boxers had considerable power and defensive weaknesses, and that the battle would be short. In addition, he classified the fight as risky.
I really do think that Ryan Rollies is gonna be short and sweet. I mean, it can be that type of fight where, see, Ryan's coming back after a year's layoff, and he's anxious and he's ready and he wants to just prove to the world, that he hasn't skipped a beat. But Rollies, I saw Rollies the other day, and he's looking in beast mode. So it's a dangerous fight.
He has also predicted that the Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero fight will end in just 4 rounds.
It's going to be a fun 4-round fight.
4 rounds.
I believe so.
Rolly's a big puncher, though, too.
Yeah, he's a big puncher, but when I think about Rollies Ryan, I think about De La Hoya Mayorga.
Yeah, someone else had told me, Rosado had told me that he thinks the same way. Why?
Well, you have big punchers who throw, those are easy to block. All you got to do is be calm, stay collective, and do your job. That's it. So I think Ryan, it's going to be a fun, short fight. It's going to be a fun 4-round fight.
Moreover, he suggested that these factors would lead to a quick conclusion in the ring.
And look, one thing about Ryan, he's got fast reflexes. He's a fighter who is just out to prove something, So I think that Ryan is going to go in there, take care of business, but make it one of the most exciting short fights ever.
Furthermore, the bout between Garcia and Romero was dubbed the most special night in boxing history by De La Hoya. He compared the much anticipated fight in New York on May 2nd to historic fights in the past. He claimed that boxing hasn't experienced the intensity of the occasion in years because of its size. More than just a bout, De La Hoya sees it as a celebration of the sport's comeback to prominence.
We're always trying to make the best fights possible, the most entertaining fights, and you mentioned New York. I mean, that's gonna be one of a kind. Cinco de Mayo weekend will be the most special night of boxing in the history of the sport.
What's more, he thinks the event will surpass everything that boxing fans have witnessed in the past. He anticipates nothing less than a spectacular show from the build-up to the final bell. De La Hoya is adamant that this bout will set a higher standard for future boxing promotions. It's a pledge that this evening will change the course of boxing history, not simply hype.
I mean, you hear about these great stories, how Sullivan and all these fighters way in the past fought in outdoor arenas in New York, Yankee Stadium, this, that. Well, the Ryan Garcia fight with Rollies in New York is gonna surpass anything you've ever heard of, anything you've ever seen. It's gonna be monumental, it's gonna be extraordinary, it's gonna be the best event you've ever seen for boxing.
Despite his earlier reservations, De La Hoya's current enthusiasm suggests he believes the fight will be a significant and memorable event in the sport. While talking about the preparations for this mega clash, Ryan Garcia is deep in camp ahead of his May 2nd showdown with Rolly Romero. Ryan Garcia is deep in training camp, pushing himself to peak condition ahead of his showdown with Rolly Romero. Moreover, his preparation focuses on speed, power, and precision, with an emphasis on sharpening his signature left hook and improving defensive movement. Every session is designed to elevate his stamina, timing, and focus as he prepares for what promises to be an explosive matchup. With intense drills and high-level sparring, Garcia is leaving nothing to chance in his pursuit of victory. Additionally, after a suspension that shook his image, Ryan sees this fight as a turning point. He's aiming to silence doubts and prove his commitment to the sport. For him, it's more than a win. It's a chance at redemption.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to be great. You know, I've always wanted to fight the best fighters in the sport. As far as, you know, my problems outside the ring, I've always had those problems. I mean, I don't know who else struggles with stuff like that, but that's just something I was struggling with. And I want to just show everybody that you could come back from anything, and I want to show my dedication to the sport and just be a true professional. I admit my wrongs, and I don't want anybody to, you know, take my actions of drinking and smoking before the fight and try to, you know, think that's a way to handle yourself as a professional. So I came here to change that.
Meanwhile, Rolly Romero is focused on winning on his own. After outgrowing the lower weight classes, he has been concentrating on strength and conditioning since he feels like he's finally at home physically. Furthermore, as he gets ready for his fight with Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero is training hard and intently. Building explosive power, strengthening his defense, and honing his counterpunching are the main goals of his camp. As he transitions into a more comfortable weight class, conditioning has been an increasingly important component of his regimen. With unwavering confidence and determination, he is striving to infuse the ring with constant pressure and unpredictable elements. The rivalry between Rolly and Garcia has been characterized by divergent viewpoints and public arguments. At first, Garcia disregarded the possibility of a confrontation with Romero, lamenting the deadlocked talks and Romero's lack of resolve. Citing the unsuccessful negotiations, he then declared that he would never fight Romero. He also mentioned a poll that he shared on social media to choose his next opponent.
I care about my word, excuse my language. So when I give my word, I do try my best to keep my word. So when I told the fans Rollies or Haney. There was a poll on Twitter. Haney won. Barely, but he won. At the end of the day, that was my first instinct to give them what they wanted. And you can pull it up right here. Check this out.
Which one is this?
It's coming.
Romero responded by accusing Garcia and his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, of being dishonest and wasting time by presenting Isaac Cruz with a fight instead. He took to social media to vent his frustration, criticizing Garcia and De La Hoya for their actions, which he saw as lacking professionalism. He talked openly about the fight against Ryan versus the fight against Isaac Cuz.
Let me ask you a question. And how often does Oscar lie about shit? Because I know he lies a lot. All I know for a fact is, yeah, it was a offer. And I decided to take a much more difficult fight than Ryan Garcia for less money, but people want to bash me for taking a more difficult fight. I mean, I would say Pitbull Cruz is a more difficult fighter than Ryan Garcia, wouldn't you agree? He's much more durable. He punches, he's aggressive. Ryan Garcia would run like a turkey.
Despite these earlier tensions, the two are now set to face each other in the ring. A welterweight fight between the two fighters will take place at the event, Fatal Fury City of Wolves, which will be a pivotal point in their tense relationship. There has been a lot of hype surrounding this battle, with both competitors exchanging words and doing promotional activities. Since the result of this fight could affect both their careers and the welterweight division's future, it is eagerly awaited. Boxing pros from all throughout the sport have responded to Ryan versus Raleigh. Analysts, trainers, and fighters are contributing their fervent opinions and audacious forecasts. The excitement around this matchup demonstrates how significant the moment is. Teofimo Lopez has issued a cautionary statement to Ryan ahead of his upcoming fight with Romero. Lopez, who is familiar with Romero's capabilities, warned Garcia to be wary of Romero's punching power. He emphasized that despite Romero's recent inactivity, his power remains a significant threat in the ring.
But I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think Ryan needs to be careful with Rolly's punching power, because Rolly still got power, man, and definitely could do something to Ryan with those shots.
Lopez's warning underscores the potential danger that Romero poses, highlighting the importance for Garcia to remain vigilant and prepared for the challenge ahead. Moreover, Teofimo Lopez has stated that he thinks Ryan will defeat Romero in the forthcoming fight. Lopez stressed that Garcia's skills and Romero's recent inactivity might give Garcia the advantage, while acknowledging the importance of the fight and the storyline surrounding Romero's career.
Rolly's a big dude. Obviously he has that power. Ryan has that right hook.
Yep.
So who do you got?
I got Ryan. I got Ryan Garcia.
Why?
Yeah, I just think that from that fight and since then, he hasn't been fighting for that long of a period, and then being stopped the way he was. I think he might be changing trainers, or he might still be with Salas.
Moreover, Sergio Mora, a boxing commentator and former champion, recently discussed his thoughts on the impending bout between Ryan and Romero. Given the considerable strength and defensive weaknesses of both competitors, Mora believes the fight will be brief and intense. He estimates that the fight will end in 5 or 6 rounds because of these elements, which make it improbable that it would last past the first half.
Ryan says 4 rounds and he's out.
There you go. See, I was gonna say 5, but yeah, man.
I've been hearing 4 and 5 from a lot of fans. Either way, whether it's Rolly or
that fight
Ryan.
doesn't go into the second half. Too much firepower. Too much defensive flaws as well from both these guys. So yeah, man, I think it ends under 5 or 6 rounds easily, but it's gonna be exciting.
Besides, Mora also underlined how crucial this battle is for Garcia, who is looking for atonement following a suspension. He pointed out that in order to win back the public's trust, Garcia must show off his strength and quickness on a large platform.
Well, listen, man, Ryan Garcia is always exciting. He's always gonna be popular. All eyes on him. He's coming off a controversial fight with Haney, so he has a lot to prove and rectify with his not only his style but his image. He needs to come back and prove that he can do everything without the issues that he had, the PEDs thing, whether it was true or not. So not only does he have to clean his image, he has to kind of convince people that he's still a power punching, fast, popular fighter that can do it on the big stage.
Regarding the possible result, Mora admitted that it was unpredictable and said that either boxer could get injuries throughout the bout.
Romero comes to knock people out. He has some holes in his defense. I think it's going to be a short, explosive fight where either of them could get hurt because Garcia's vulnerable defensively as well.
Aside from the Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. bout, which he believes will be a close battle that goes the distance, he said that the undercard has other intriguing bouts.
All these fights are going to end in knockout except one of them. I think Teofimo Lopez and Barboza.
Full 12?
I think that one goes the full distance, and it's going to be a close fight. I think that one is on paper the best, most competitive 50-50 type fight.
The bout between Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero is one of the most anticipated bouts in recent memory. Fans are giddy with anticipation for what seems to be an exciting bout, with both combatants receiving a lot of attention. Garcia, who is renowned for his lightning-fast hand speed and piercing counterpunches, enters the ring with a polished and powerful approach. Romero, on the other hand, is always threatening to end the fight because of his aggressive pressing and raw strength. From the first ring of the bell, this clash is sure to be spectacular. Throughout the boxing community, there have been heated discussions about these two's divergent styles. Romero's erratic, overbearing intensity contrasts sharply with Garcia's elegant, precise style. This disparity has caused global fan division, stoked speculation, and evoked strong feelings. Despite the fact that everyone seems to have a strong view about how the fight will go, anything may happen when the bell rings. This fight has all the makings of a contemporary classic, with both competitors possessing the means to prevail as well as the weaknesses that could work against them. So now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this explosive showdown? Who do you see coming out on top and why? Will Garcia's speed and timing be too much, or can Rolly's aggression and power steal the spotlight? Drop your predictions and analysis in the comments below.